Good morning, magandang umaga po. Today I'm gonna show you one of my hobbies is, of course, as I believe I mentioned in one of my videos, is firearms, target shooting, hunting, blah blah blah. I also reload my own bullets, and I thought I'm gonna show you the basic concept on how bullet is reloaded. This is, let me show it to you. This is a commercial bullet that has not been used, and I'm going to show you how this thing gets reloaded so that you can keep on reusing it for so many times, in the process saving you money, and therefore you're able to do your target shooting. Okay, so stay with me, I'll show it to you. To have several reloading machines. This one is for a 9mm. That one, which I'll show you later, is for the shotgun. And I used to have one that is mounted right here, and that is to reload a 380, which is a smaller version of the 9mm, and also the 30-06 rifle bullet, which I'll show you what a 30-06 is. This big of a bullet, okay? That's a 30-06. Very powerful one that I usually carry when I'm hunting. And of course, you know what a shotgun bullet is, and I will not be demonstrating that. I'll just show you the 9mm, reloading the 9mm, which is basically the same principle as doing the 380, and the 30-06 calibers, and a little bit differently the shotgun. But it's not set up because I'm in the process of packing them and sending them over to Washington. But meanwhile, I'm going to show you the basic principle, which is going to be the same as reloading the 380 and the 30-06. Now, here is a spent. So you see there's no head, and also the primer was hit there, so this is no longer good. But this is how the process goes, okay? The first thing you do is to remove this primer. Now, this is a progressive one. Progressive means that every time I push this lever, a cartridge drops, okay? But I'm not going to demonstrate the progressive one because I will just show you basically the principle behind reloading, all right? And so the first thing you do is you put that on the first stage, okay? Put it on the first stage, and what that's going to do is, see this die here? It's going to push that used primer out. Primer comes out here. I'll show it to you. There you go. The used primer is out. Meanwhile, usually I put all the primers here in this tube so that when I crank that out, one of these so-called primers that I'm going to replace it with, okay, one of these primers is going to be installed. But since I'm not doing a progressive reload, I will just put this in myself, and I'll show you what happens. Okay, this primer is in, and all I have to do is leave the bullet, the cartridge, inside. Okay, and then when you push it down, you continue to push it, and it puts it inside. So here's the result. The new primer is in, okay? Then what you do is you turn this to the next stage, and what it will do is it will put the powder into the cartridge. Okay, let me see if I can show that to you. All right. See, it brings it up and it puts the powder in. Okay, now let me try to remove that. And show you that the powder is inside. Okay, it dispenses the correct amount of powder in the cartridge, and this is pre-measured. I adjusted this, and this is my guide regarding the bullet weight, the amount of powder that need to be installed. Okay, and then let me put this back here. Then I will turn it again. Okay, now it's on the third stage. What this is going to do is put this lead bullet. This is what you call the bullet. This is pre-lubricated. See this blue cream here? That is pre-lubricated so that when it is fired, it lubricates the whole system. Okay, so I will put that on top. Oh, by the way, when I put the powder in, it also opens this up. It opens it up. It opens up the mouth so that I could install it there. Okay, so I'll put this in. Okay, now let me remove it again. Now see how the bullet is seated, but then this is loose. Okay, the mouth is loose. So the next stage is going to be to crimp it, to crimp the mouth. Okay, now I'm going to move it again. Now this is the final stage. Okay, now that crimps it so it is tight. And the next time I turn this around, one bullet drops. So that's one loaded, this is one loaded bullet. Okay, so now I am going to do it in sequence as if this is going to be a progressive one. All right, so let me first I will put this primer first. Okay, primer is on, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll put that in. Now there will be two steps to this process. The first one, the primer is still here, okay, but the first time I do it, it's going to remove the primer, and then the next one is to push and it will install the primer. Okay, then the next one, I'll turn that around. The next one is going to apply this, and meanwhile I just put the primer in, a new primer for this one. Okay, once I put the cartridge there, now there will be two operation. When I pull this, it will remove the old primer. At the same time, it will put the powder on the second one. Okay, and then when I push it forward, it will install the new primer. Okay, so I'll remove this. That removes the old primer on the second cartridge, and on the first cartridge it put the powder in. Okay, and then when I pull this, the new primer is still there. All I have to do is to push it, and the new primer is in. Now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to put the bullet on the first cartridge, I'll seat it. And what this next step is going to do is it will put the powder on the second cartridge and also seat the bullet on the first cartridge. So here goes. Okay. All right. So now there is a powder on the second one, and there is a bullet seated on the first one. So then when I turn this around, I will put this bullet on the second cartridge. So the next time I pull this lever, it's going to seat that cartridge and it's going to crimp the first cartridge. And of course, if I have other things, if all the four are loaded, it will be performing the same different steps for each stage it is in. So now I'm going to do it. And by the way, when I'm explaining this, I have to also focus. This is very difficult. One of the key things in reloading is you have to concentrate. Concentrate on what you're doing or you get messed up. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this. This bullet here is crimped. That's done. This one is seated but not crimped. But doing this, it is seated. There you go. So now I have three. So as you can see, if each stage is full of cartridges, as you pull this, one drops out. And that is the beauty of progressive reloading. Okay, now I'll show you the rest of my gadgets. See this thing here? This is where I put all the primers in. And once this thing is loaded, it's full of primers inside, and when it is running out, it will make that noise. That means it's empty. So that's a warning signal that the primer is empty. And this is what and as you can see here in my supplies, I have a supply of different powders for different cartridges. Okay, and I have the primers here. This is for large primers. These are the shot shell CCI 209. Oh, these are loaded, and those are the so-called pistol primers, and these are the bullets. Okay, this is the 9mm bullet, and this is the 380 bullet. And of course I have the 30 caliber or 30-06 bullets. Alright, now, and this is my reloader for the shotgun. This one is also progressive, and that will be able to reload every time I push this. I pull this. Okay, every time I pull this, it's going to give me one loaded 12 gauge shotgun cartridge. Okay, there you have it. I thought I will show you how I reload this. I used to reload 30-06, those big cartridges, and also the 380, which is a small 9mm cartridge, and also the shotgun cartridge. Other than those, I have not reloaded other calibers. Those are primarily what I use. I use the 9mm for target shooting, and also for safety, for security. I bring that with me when I'm hunting, in addition to my rifle or a crossbow. The crossbow I already sold because I figured I'm getting old, I'm getting weak, and that crossbow is pretty heavy. And although it extends my hunting time, I said I'm not going to do hunting anymore. The only time I'll do hunting is when my grandchildren wants to do it, and I'll go with them, but they'll have to carry all my gear. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to put something in the comment section, and I'll appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you'll be notified of future postings I have, and hopefully this helped you out, at least understand the concept of how reloading is done. Have a nice day. I'll see you later.